Good evening, Free Enterprise fans, and we have a hype end of the week matchup here for our Moonveil Mixer Eblan Elixir League matchup. We have Luff versus Cecil and Starman versus Mechalink on this twin cast between last minute decisions and it's Bacchus o'clock somewhere. My name's Vitasia. I'm joined on the mic by my good friend and teammate, of course, in this tournament, Night Dew. How are you doing today, Night Dew?
We're doing great today, actually, and even more hype is that both of these teams are at the 4-2 mark. And while a loss doesn't completely eliminate, there's going to be a big logjam up at 5-2 with 1 week left to go in these standings here. So yeah, a ton on the line between both teams here. So yeah, Luff and Starman do have the advantage, but anything can happen on this race tonight.
Absolutely. So Luff and Starman, only one of them needs to win in order to advance their team to the 5-2. With Cecil and Mechalink, both of them do have to win if their team is going to advance. It's just a hype matchup. It is getting tight up there at the 5-2 matchup right now. As we speak, there's 5 teams that are currently at that spot, a 6th that will come out of this race, and then possibly a 7th even from our last match of the evening. So this is just an amazing hype at this point. If things end up shaking out like that, this is truly the chaos that I think everyone wanted to see for the end of this tournament.
Absolutely, yeah. That's pretty much just saying we're just going to have a ton of very interesting races on week 8. Not to say that we're not going to have them today, because this absolutely is. But yeah, we could set for maximum chaos, and I'm definitely here for it. So just to get us back onto this flag here, we do note that we have a Tele hero, very kind by Scala, our seed roller and restreamer here, to give us an anchor as a starting character.
It's Scala giveth and Scala taketh away. Tell is certainly, he's great early game. He has the exit spell, he has blink, and he certainly is able to anchor the rest of the party as you go through it. That said, getting him online to his full spell list can be a little bit difficult because Tella soloing anything before he has any of his magic up on Mount Ordeals, and you do have to do that solo because he's the hero, can be difficult if you don't properly prepare for it. Try to find some J items that are out there to get him through whatever fights up there.
Starting Darkness Crystal and Val in the changing room sounds great.
So that's interesting. I saw 2 different sets of hourglasses in that in our opening kit, and of course the pass, which is nice to see, but that almost guarantees that we're going to have to early access Moon, doesn't it?
You'd think so, definitely here. Especially, yeah, 2 hourglasses. That means things like, especially that city that came with them there. That's enough HP there that if you find a decent way to potentially kill something like hair dryers, you can get a decent jump right off the get here in terms of XP.
Absolutely, and it looks like our runners are absolutely going in just wildly different directions right out of the gate. You do see Cecil in Barry, and I didn't quite see what that sprite was. Luff, meanwhile, is looting out Eblan Castle.
Yeah, I also missed it adjusting my notepad for this here. 2 in Watery Pass, 1 to Eblan, and 1 to Baron here. Yeah, that's I don't even think there's really a completely accepted meta here, but these are probably some of the most normal checks that come through here. Yeah, we're just kind of getting the opening looting here out of the way. Unfortunately, my call of Val in the changing room is already dead because Edge apparently is there, thanks Alchemy, and having tea with Edge. So, that's still going to be a little interesting to get through here because that Val has a lot of physical evasion to Baron 1.
It really does, and here's the most interesting thing about that. It's a lot of physical evasion, lots of magic evasion, but more importantly than that, we do know that the Baron Inn does not give us or have access to the underworld. Like, that's not going to be our logical access from that particular boss fight. So might see some runners actually dodge it and start checking it maybe a little bit later, even though that edge is very tempting.
Yep, Mecha and Starman doing the deep dive here, going completely through Watery Pass for all these boxes here. Haven't been paying too hard of attention to what has been in them here. Haven't seen any big hits yet. Cecil's going in the back end to pick up those 4 chests. Might go the reverse way around. I mean, we do have a Sid, and if we can give him a, he does start up at the very least with a Dwarf Axe here. So, yeah, that's a decent weapon to start out with here, but you usually want just like a little bit more accuracy and less negative speed on my opening Sid, just to start out here. Though nobody in this starting team is going very fast.
All right, so Mecha does end up completing her pass through the Watery Pass, while Cecil certainly is finishing up. It's really interesting seeing runners who have been on the same teams, like practice the same or similar styles. It's like each team has developed their own mini meta of what they find works.
Now, of interesting that I was looking through Luff's trip through Eblan here. One of the items there was a Gaia drum. Good J item there. Blizzard in the Damsian treasury as well. And the HP-based J items are wonderful with a starting Sid in your party.
Curse String and a Leviathan orb in the basement of Damsian. That's pretty significant. If we find an early Iridia, that's going to be great to see for that Leviathan. But Curse String, I know Tella is good anyway in terms of anchoring, but hey, if you want to just ensure that you're at that RA1 spot with the rest of your party, throw that Curse String on it. You're fantastic.
Oh, here we are. We're on Hobbs now with Starman. That's a blue robe, and that's an early alt gauntlet here. We do have an opening firebomb that'll take care of one of these, but this is going to be a fairly slow alt gauntlet with this Porum here. Glad to see a white mage, but this is going to be a little bit of a slog here.
If you see this right now, is this something you're like, okay, I know where alt gauntlet is. I'm not in go mode right now. Like, this is the key item check that's going to unlock anything. You know that you're not necessarily in danger of needing a white page right now. Do you maybe fade it and come back a little bit later when you know that it'll be faster to get through?
Boy, that's a hard one. Cecil, however, kind of answers this for me here. That's an Earth Hammer in there, and while, yes, we do have some enemies here, as shown on Starman's side, who are flying and would be immune to that, a lot of those ground-based party pieces of this gauntlet can be taken out by just using an Earth Hammer. That would make me feel a lot better about it, but on the other hand, we also do unfortunately know that we've got to find a way around that Val's physical evasion there, and I can't remember how many rolls she gets in that position, but it's a significant amount.
Meanwhile, Luff's certainly working through these a little bit faster. Starman is now on the third fight with a knocked over Porum, by the way, while Luff enters the third fight. So those two are neck and neck. Remember, Luff versus Cecil and Starman versus Mecha. So Luff and Starman on the same fight, but on the same team at the same time.
Yep, Luff actually found a few more J items there in the Eblan check, and it's doing him a lot of good here. Mecha doesn't know about it because Mecha is headed into Antlion here, which is, decent play here. Maybe we get a key item, at this point. Looking at our options here, you kind of want an Earth-based character check. I know there was a Mylon starting out there. Even a Baron key wouldn't be entirely bad here, but it's kind of slim pickings for what we have here in terms of characters, and Luff doesn't want to put up with all these attacks here at once. Is going to throw an Hourglass at this fight as well here.
Who did you say picked up the Earth Hammer? Because
Cecil saw it in the shop. I did not see a purchase of it, however.
Okay, yeah, that would be an amazing answer to it, unfortunately, but if Cecil doesn't know that that's there, and is happy, it's like, hey, the poison axe that Mecha Link has, for example, that hits plenty hard. I don't need a hurt hammer. I don't need to sweep. Why would I need a sweeper at this point in the game?
And Starman and Luff on the same fight here, showing us exactly why you would. Now that Hourglass does allow Luff to get that Forum up, and I mean, that's definitely you want Forum to get as much XP as she can get here, because yeah, this is the faster she gets to Blink and Berserk big things, the better here. So yeah, we're just yeah, this gauntlet is definitely still a slog here. Cecil has found out what we have here. Does have a Thor Rage and a Blizzard to go along here. I don't know if the Thor Rage takes out those skeletons, but I think we're about to find out.
All right, both Luff and Starman are through now. Looks like Starman is opting for an early exit, while Luff is going to continue on the treasure hunt.
Yeah, you know, the back of Hobbs has not really failed me, and look there, we've got a hook in Antlion here, and yeah, there's a guy, the replacement Gaia drum there. Okay, that's about the best thing we got there. But yeah, that hook is very spicy. And if I'm Mecha, I am very tempted to go spy those shops, spy that character, spy that everything. And looks like Mecha agrees with me, and she is off to take that hovercraft over to Eblan Cave here.
I tell you what, the one consistent that I found in this seed, and the prevailing wisdom has always been do your objectives, but number 2, only just below that, is get your party sorted. The sooner you get your party sorted and set, the faster everything ends up being at the very end of the seed. So,
yep. And for that forum here, I'm gonna jump in front of you here real quick. Second chest, Heroine Robe in Eblan there. We do have a forum that can use that there, so that could actually be, we find some bows and arrows, a little bit more offense. We're also going to go in, we see Sirens and Hourglass 2s. That's enough to make me think about, you know, actually Eblan Trap Chests at that point as well.
Oh, absolutely. And it looks like there was a crystal armor that we ended up finding, which is just nothing but pure money and profit at this point in time. You know, great armor in the game. Fantastic. Absolutely worthless for speedrunners because it prevents you from berserking.
Oh, I remember. And to be fair, the first time we played this game and we got all that crystal equipment in the moon, we were so happy to see it. Only, you know, we're speedrunners and we know better now.
The amount that we've learned between when we first played this game, when we were children, and now is just voluminous.
Mecha taking a few risks here, popping open a box or two on the way here, as we do find a white mage and we do find an Asura here, gating in the ruby spot here. So we do start with enough Star Veils to take care of that, but we do want either a Rune Axe, an Elven Bow, some Mute Arrows, something to actually get some damage here on the mage type Asura as fast as possible. But the other really good thing is we did find that Heroine Robe, and Rosa comes with the aim command. That's your ticket past Val right there.
Yeah, between that, oh, hey, look, we just happen to have some Mute Arrows as well. So that's a nice pickup for when we're starting to think ahead for that Asura as well.
Yep, and Mecha seems to agree here, is that Heroine Robe has went straight onto that Rosa here. Yeah, gonna be big payouts there, even a Silk Web. Yeah, so that Rosa, huge find here in on the hook route.
Mecha does opt to go ahead and exit out instead of looting on the way out. Good decision, I think, deciding I got the character. Now it's time. We're going to go over here and check some Eblan. We certainly have the hourglasses now to get through here and really get a lot of good levels on this characters.
Mute Arrows also kill the Mad Ogres fast, which is what you kind of want there. I don't know Mecha's status. I think Mecha was one of the ones that got the Gaia drum out of the back of Hobbs, I believe. Actually, I'm not sure about that, but there's another one anyway.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Cecil about to get the bad news here. There's Edge, what you want, and there's somebody standing in the way that you really don't want to see in this spot here. For the accuracy bonus, I probably want that middle, that Sid to be in the middle here. That vampire is not gonna work. She's got perfect magic evade there.
Love checking out some of the free boss checks. Ogopogo was in the Mist Cave, which I'm happy to see off the table personally.
Also, we did see Pain Man at the waterfall. So yeah, 2 bosses you're actually pretty happy to see. Yes, Pain Man is free in a lot of locations, but when he pops up at, Leviathan or CPU or something like that doing 1200 to the party, not so free. That looks like a white shirt out of the out of the Black Cat Lamia chest in Eblan Castle here, and Mecha's gonna exit out. I wonder if this is just a heal up or that's good enough XP, and it looks like that might just be good enough XP here.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like a reasonable play. So, hey, now we have the levels to be able to just kind of get through this a little bit faster, and I appreciate the play right now on Mecha's side.
Oh no, Starman runs afoul of the Staleman chest and gets sent back to his last save, unfortunately. Meanwhile, Luff is through Luff did get through that Val there, and is greeted by a much friendlier group of Dark Imps, which usually is not free in this position here. They hit kind of hard, but anyway, Gaia Drum takes out 2 of them, and just a little bit of cleanup left here. Luff's and Fabul, there you go, sorry. Same background, and yeah, paying attention to 4 of these is a little sometime. Anyway, Dark Imps of Fabul then, never mind. We'll see what comes out of that here. My, about that changing room.
Yeah, so that's we're setting ourselves up, with the Darkness Crystal. That does mean we can launch the whale, we can go to the moon, you go to the giant, and we're set up for D-Money. Although, are we? Because if there's one thing that we've seen kind of throughout this tournament, in order to make the D-Money grind valuable, you need to have a few other things go on just besides early access to everything. You need the Tela, of course, but you also need a couple of black mages who can really take advantage of the slingshot mechanism where you can get them levels and not spend a whole lot of time doing it. It also helps if you happen to have one of the objectives be clear the giant, which we don't necessarily have right now. So when you combine that with, we've already seen sirens available.
Yeah, I get that too. Yeah, I mean, yes. Speaking of, we did also find Starveils and Thor Rages in Silvera. So find an Angry Turtle somewhere, and Luff did pick up a bunch of those Starveils and is well equipped for said Angry Turtle here. But as you say, now mind you, if we do have a Moon character now, or at least Luff does, as Luff is headed to Ordeals here. But a Moon character is up there. So if you find a Rydia or a Palom, it gets a little more enticing. If you find, like a vanilla Fusaya, however, not so much.
Yeah, I think it's going to depend on who that character is. I do applaud Luff right now, saying, hey, let's at least get Tela active. This is something that you want to kind of do anyway. You're already looking for a couple more bosses in Golbez and the Mist Dragon, which does hold a key item. Leviathan, not bad here. Certainly has the levels to be able to handle this.
Yeah, a little spookier than something physical bases. I can't remember how much those Ice 2s are going to hurt, as a couple of other runners are going into and getting the news about that Rosa, and I believe most of them did get the Heroine robe up front as well. But yeah, I would actually be very tempted with that Rosa Heroine robe that Starman has here to decide to just go say, hey, I can go get me a ninja. I would love to get a ninja. This ninja is going to actually make the make the blue planets a little bit faster here. So Sid can take an Ice 2. That's not bad there. The other two, now we do have Star Veils available, and might be a thing here with these Ice 2s coming out. Porum just not having a good day on left side there, though.
I think that's kind of fine, though. In this party, at least the current setup, unless we have exactly a black mage that is up on the moon, you probably are comfortable ditching one of the two white mages. Now, if we have a black mage and we're at a 3-mage party with a Sid being a great reflect target, I think that changes the equation. But right now, we're set up pretty well. Okay.
Oh my, speaking of spooky back attacks there, Mega Sisters is not who you want to see here. Those tier 2 elementals tend to hurt here, as this Fire 2 is going to come out just for a casual 568 on Tella. That's no good.
This might be the worst spot for Mega Sisters, because it is back attack. You're trying to do it early, and that's a one-shot. One of your characters is going down before you have a chance to do anything.
Yeah, unless it hits Sid, who might be able to take it. Oh no, that's 656, and he did not come in healed here. Unfortunately, I think... Okay, no, Luff did save after the first fight. I know did come up there. But yeah, it does have mute arrows. Crossbow, not the best bow for it, and only has 2 shots. That's definitely not exactly what I would like there. I did see Staleman go down on Cecil's side. Did have like 16... Okay, yeah, okay, I didn't see what came of it, but those Artie arrows are definitely telling a tale here. So I believe Staleman did have Artie arrows.
Luff trying round 2. I applaud the effort. I still don't know, because it's a one-shot either way. Up for anyone who comes through this.
Yeah, and the thing is, I mean, it's back attacks, so those Mega Sisters are getting a very free Delta attack before you can move a finger here. Sid takes the opening one, takes 704. That's still not good at all. Yeah, Luff is banking on possibly being able to take out Sandy, or Mindy, sorry, to get a little bit of time here. Okay, that's where those vampires were. They were in Fabul there, so that's the option you want online for Tella in the changing room, and with Val out, that's great, but okay, 554, not enough, unfortunately, and that's another reset. That's, yeah, mute arrows are definitely great here, and Luff is doing probably what I would be doing here. I'll come back another day, possibly with more party members and targets.
Yeah, hate to see it, and this is one of those points where it does feel bad that you have to do it, but you can be a little bit confident that anyone else tries to go up that mountain earlier, you're still going to have a bad time, right? So you have to commit to losing the time and just know when to nope out.
Yep, absolutely here. Now, the people who do have Rose on that heroin robe are going to have a little bit of a better time with it here, actually, especially if they did find... I think somebody found an archer bow, at least, because I saw an archer bow go on, but Starman is actually on the moon and giving us our first check of the moon character, which I heartily agree with, and yeah, it's definitely, and one thing where you said, do your objectives, get your freebies, but also check your gated characters, because a Cecil or a Fu, or even a, Edge at this point, drastically alters your seed. And
that's
this,
Cecil.
Oh my, there's your Paladin, or Dark Knight here for Starman, but that's Starman's big impetus to say, you have a Tella, you have a Cecil, it's time to go do it at Mount Ordeals here. Luff bumps into Valvolus there, and Sid with the bow and arrow could not hit her. Cecil does have that Rosa here, does have that aim command. So we'll see if we get any better...
Look at Starman trying to set up, thought they were going to go take the hairdryer chest, but thought better of it. Sat down and says, I don't know if I have anything to sweep through here. Opted to go back to the blue planet, maybe take some of these easier trap chests for a few levels. But otherwise is saying, let's go right to Ordeals.
Yep, gonna see that Mega Sisters, but does have a full 5-person party for here, as Mecha Link is through that Leviathan here. It does seem to have a little bit more power here, but yeah, does not save after the Leviathan. Gets the bad news that here be Magic Sisters, and may have to do that Leviathan here again if things go wrong. This Heroine Rosa is okay. Does have 4 mute arrows in the bag here, and a Berserk spell. Okay, that Rosa already knows Berserk. That's wonderful news to Mecha Link if Rosa doesn't take the Spire. Oh, did I curse? I have no idea.
That bored AI. Bored.
Yeah, Mecha needed that attack to go anywhere else, and yeah, that Porum next to act possibly getting off a life potion. Yeah, that board AI is alive and well here, just sniping any of the Berserk casters. The Mega Sisters know what the heck. They even got a wall onto Rosa. Now she can't even self Berserk.
Oh my, yeah. It's at this point you almost want to reset out. It's like, hey, let's give this another shot. If you need a setup to go,
yeah, Mecha didn't save after Leviathan here, so that may actually be prompting him to say, well, now what? Or her. Sorry. Meanwhile, Cecil did a little bit of equipment swapping here, got a 5-10 on that Val. Is through Val, first person through Val, and possibly get that ninja. And here comes the freest of free in the Eblan royalty.
Look, we're going to Edge's house. We gotta ask his parents' permission if he can come out to play. This is just, them being good parents for the only time in their entire history.
Yep. Mecha has downed Mindy here, so the Delta attack is offline for now. Sid gets the Berserk. There goes Cindy. Okay, Mecha is through, barring a very rude charm from Sandy here, and I think most of that party has reflected walls here. Rosa finishes it off here, so yeah, okay, so Mecha is first through the Mega Sisters here. Luff is about to get the new... Okay, no, Rough Luff already has the Rosa here, so we've got a lot of crisscrossing paths and a lot of the same here. Starman is taking that Cecil up here and gets the news about Mega Sisters.
Yeah, we'll see. A few more targets. I wouldn't mind Cecil being knocked over here immediately by a spell. He's serving the teddy bear role from Earthbound. It's like, hey, here's a target. Take it. And Rosa stands up and gets the black magic caster. So even though Sid went down, Starman's in a little bit better position than Mecha at that point in time. But if this is...
Yep. Luca Key to go along with that ninja there, and that's a backroad silent staff. That's wonderful to see.
Oh my gosh.
So the changing room is asking you, did you save an hourglass or did you save a sweeper? Because if not, Tella is going to get exploded.
It's oh my goodness. I mean, yeah, I'm glad we picked up plenty of vampires, doing what we can to try to minimize. Okay, I like the blink cast, but you gotta have some sort of spell right now.
I don't know how many HP these bombs have. A question in chat here says, dabbled in FE, how would we classify this set of flags in terms of difficulty? I would say probably in the medium to medium high. Does require a bit of game knowledge here. Did save a firebomb. Okay, Mecha Link is through. Paladin Cecil, if Mecha does go to the moon, is online. Tella has a spell suite. And Starman just walked through those Mega Sisters as well here, so we've got Paladin room parity and yeah, just the bandana, but the real prize is yeah. We have trap chests to most likely search, yes. We have Cecil go trap chests here.
Yeah, worth noting in these flag sets, remember, the normal trap chests only have up to tier 5 loot, which is nice, but it's not necessarily like it's the bare minimum that I think you could think of to get through the end game fights. The trap chests do have better gear though, and better stuff. Up to crystal swords, adamant armors, or extra wizard hats, if that's your thing.
Yeah,
So
I don't think.
it's really a range.
Yeah, I don't think Tella or Starman found. Excuse me, found the vampires. Is going with tier 1 elemental spells on this Tella here to whittle away that HP up to the explode here.
This is interesting. Mecha Link, she is now going up to the moon to find that Cecil, and is going to be in a slightly better position. When she finds Cecil, Cecil will already be online at Paladin and will be able to reap the rewards if she decides to burn an hourglass on those hair dryers. I think one of the reasons that Starman was probably incentivized of not doing hair dryers while up on the moon checking for that character is Cecil wouldn't get the benefit. Remember, as soon as Cecil transforms, he's knocked back down to level 1, so you kind of lose all of that experience. Meanwhile, Mecha Link is definitely going to gain it all with a fresh level 1 Cecil and get a mini slingshot out of it.
Yeah, I take it back. It was not a white shirt in the Black Cat Lamy chest. That was a white spear. So impetus potentially for Kane should he show up there. Just because, hey, we've got a good weapon for him now. But it could also be a dart with this edge in the potential party as well, so we shrug our shoulders at that. But Starman is through to the explode phase here, and hovered over the hourglass for a second, hovered over the other hourglass, and is going to throw an hourglass. Okay, so it's just going to be how fast can Tella chew through the rest of these bombs here.
I think this particular spot in total only has 1,000 HP, and I don't know how it's split amongst these bombs myself, but they're relatively low HP.
Yeah, that's a very good question. Luff is on the Mega Sister Spy. Did land a Berserk onto that Rosa. I'm going to guess that Rosa has something, but with the front sister out, okay, yeah, those are mute arrows, so yeah, that fight is practically done here. Yep, and Cecil is on an inventory boss in the middle of Eblan here. Eblan, a good play, just doesn't know it yet because Cecil does have that edge, I believe, but does not have the but does not know or have that of the Cecil. And here comes the Mad Ogres, which again, do we have mage killers around? I do have an hourglass, so that's okay there.
Starman, you have a blizzard. I saw a blizzard in your inventory.
No, we are much like Rydia. We are letting Tella hit things.
I mean, nice. If we can cheer on little girls hitting things, we can do the same with letting old men hit things, right?
Yep. Link gets the wonderful news about the Cecil, and I believe is going to get us. I don't know if we saw the Hummingway Cave check on the other, but Mecha is headed to Hairdryer Cave now, as we will call it here. Sure, it's the Lunar Path, but it's Hairdryer Cave now.
I'm going to christen this cave the Salon because it's full of hair dryers. So we're going to the Salon.
The motion passes. Nice mute knife too.
Hey, we got an edge back on Earth that would totally love that mute knife.
Yep.
And about 5 fights before against those Mega Sisters.
Yep, and here are the hair dryers. Heroine Rosa gonna toss that hourglass. Oh, hey, wait, we've been up ordeals. We could try for Onslaught Stone here with Tella. We wouldn't get the life glitches, but, well, we do have weak too, so... We're kind of trying to pay attention to that, and Cecil getting through this Mad Ogre fight should be happening momentarily. Yep, there goes the last of the Mad Ogres here. So anything interesting in this box, perhaps, here is... Oh, boy! Oh. A holy sword for a holy man there. That's a crystal sword, which is wonderful news for Cecil, the player. If he knew that Cecil was available, just by getting that darkness crystal and getting through ordeals, Cecil does have a lot of vampires, so I mean it's a possibility, but Yeah, that's huge news, especially for Starman, who is running in, does have that paladin, and we know there is a reward of a holy sword.
Things are absolutely looking up for Starman. Mecha Lake is currently at least getting a little bit more experience, certainly trying to life glitch out the hair dryers individually, trying to get some more experience, but we'll see if Mecha is rewarded quite as well.
Yep, Rosa is working as fast as she can here, and unfortunately, misses the life glitch on that one there. Unfortunately, just did not get the curse to that one fast enough, unfortunately. That one will go, though. Okay, did not get tele-lifed. So hairdryer, that was a lot of levels for Cecil there. But does he get anything to go with it? And that's just a Protect Ring, a good piece of elemental defense and armor there, but not exactly a holy sword.
No, I mean, you're happy to see it, and you're like, okay, I'm glad I spent a little bit of time on that. Protect Ring is fantastic, but yeah, you're looking for some holy cutlery right at the moment.
Yep, Luff is the third through our changing room here. Does have the news that potential paladins are available here, as Starman does get to that white spear. Cecil going up ordeals is the only person here who has actually cleared that Baron in and has the edge along, which should help a lot on both of these fights up here, speed those up here. I mean, yes, we have a Crystal Sword Cecil, but an edge just usually kind of sweeps through the overall just as fast, and might want to heal that party up, as I'm pretty sure Sid is down to that initial big wave here, unfortunately. I think he had 39 hit points.
Yeah, this is... Cecil's like, oh wait. Gotta heal.
Maybe I should have used the tents.
So we're in the early stages of this. We have a Darkness Crystal that everyone, or just about everyone, Cecil has not checked it, but everyone else has. We've done Antlion, we've done kind of all of the standard early game checks. We're at 35 minutes or so right now. How are you feeling about this seed right now if you're any of these runners? Because I don't know if we can quite suss out if we feel ahead, behind, anything like that, but everyone's feeling like we're getting ready to converge on going underground at about the same time.
Yeah, with this starting party, that's very interesting. Mecha Link does check Hummingway Cave, finds a coffins only shop, which is absolutely wonderful. And of note, that did not tap the crystal to go back down. Mecha Link is staying on the moon. And here's the thing. We don't have to do D machines. We have hourglasses. We have sirens. We have a weak caster in Tella. And Ryu's give like 69,000 gil a fight. I am very tempted here to go pop a siren on a Ryu floor and do a very quick cheeky Ryu grind before popping back down. Unfortunately, I'd feel a lot better. Starman, however, is the first person to get the big prize of Paladin and Holy Sword. Starman does have a Crystal Sword Cecil online now.
Oh, Mecha Link is saying, hey, while I'm down here, let me check something out here.
Oh, we're gonna get a peek on the required Murasame altar boss. Now we do know KQE is gone here, but we do have hourglasses, we do have coffins, and Mecha Link, are you going for those sirens? Yes, you are. We're gonna see some early Ryus here, hopefully.
This is absolutely fantastic. I mean, you got to be a little bit careful here because you do have to make sure the hourglasses land. But between that, yeah, just menu over right to Tella.
Yeah, that RA1 Rosa with that heroin robe is making that a lot easy to do so here. Trying to coffin, unfortunately, I do not believe that coffins do work on those, so unfortunately, you do have the backup in weak casting Tella there. I believe there. Oh no, that was the Artie arrows were in the Staleman box here, as Cecil is up on Ordeals in the Mega Sisters fight, and Berserk just landed on Rosa, so I believe this is probably academic as well here. Luff getting the great news that, hey, I've got a paladin.
Tella's not look. Oh, okay. Come on. There we go.
Yeah, I love this from Mecha here, just because this is, you're not really counting on the whole need to do D machines here. This is gonna, okay, Rosa's just, I say, I would kind of be waiting to have Rosa hit that back row one. The weak has hit the back one. I don't know how many hit points has been left with. Rosa did hit one for 30 something here, so yeah, just be sitting on that life glitch. There we go. Okay, that one drops there. Here comes the life potion, and there we go. Okay, Rosa will finish this one off, and 90,000 XP will be going to Mecha Link here with 69,000 gil, and about 5 levels for everybody. Cure 3, fast, float. You like spells, we got spells here, as both white mages are to Cure 3 now. Cecil with 8 more levels, and I would probably, at this point, I would think about taking one more Siren, and then popping back out, saving, and then maybe checking that Mirror Altar.
Yeah,
just because I wouldn't want to waste this grind, yeah. Meanwhile, the player Cecil is taking that Mom Bomb fight here. Does have an Hourglass there, that'll work. I didn't see the other J items there, but yeah, just gotta make sure you do something just to stop the explode here. And let's see, anything else in here? No, looks like going for a Silk Web. No, thinks better of it and goes for the Hourglass. There you go. Starman gets that Luca key and that ninja there, and these parties are shaping out pretty good here. Starman now has a holy sword wielding paladin, as well as a ninja that I believe at least has a mute knife. Hey, that's pretty good actually.
Mecha also is getting a double life glitch on this last one because Tella cast a spell to kill the last.
Spicy! I love it. Yep, might have to. I didn't see a Soma drop anywhere. Tella might have to go to Psych to grab some other party members' MP here to get that last week off, but well worth it here. Did we say 60k X or 90k XP? We meant 120k XP for this.
Certainly a lot of experience to get through right here. You know, at this point, you know, you're not necessarily even looking for too much of a grind. This is going to be able to exit out, save, even check this, and you might even start thinking about clearing the moon if you can get through here and get all the experience from that levels.
Speaking of people thinking about clearing the moon, Starman is up with a holy sword wielding paladin and a ninja and says, yes, it is time to clear the moon, let's go. Or is thinking about grinding on Ryu's as well, because that's totally an option, but either way, both of our bottom runners here, 3 of our 4 runners are on the moon, and yeah, Cecil is still the only, Cecil's still on the blue planet. Has had some people catch up and run in terms of checks here, but Starman is not stopping on the Murasame floor and is diving to the bottom. Oh,
Mecha
very spicy. Mecha says, let's go. Oh no. Oh, boy. That's a little extra spicy there, and I would Gonna get this Berserk on Heroine Rosa here. That's oh, you're gonna feel pretty bad about this. That's what do I have? Okay, that's a Poison Axe. And that's probably, I don't know what's on that Cecil right now, because I know that Starman does have a not have a Holy Sword here. There goes the Silk Web, definitely the play here. Got to slow this wall down, and it does seem to be that. Oh no, there goes Tella here. Rosa is shooting for that's not a lot of damage. We're gonna need some more Berserkers for this. Blinks are coming out, which is also a thing here. Is that Sid Berserk or is that just a normal? Yeah, that Mute Knife needs to probably go in favor of that Poison Axe sitting down there. Gonna have to remove the shield here, but yeah, totally worth it. Damage is definitely the name of the game here. Now, Starman did go to LST6 and is popping Sirens here. Says, I don't need to weak, I have a Crystal Sword Cecil.
Makes things a little bit faster. Worth pointing out, Starman did boot Sid out of the party for that edge, so still rocking the double White Mage, but double Zerkers now, because I think at least has some middle swords for edge right now, so not fantastic weaponry, but not bad weaponry.
Yep. Cecil had some damage there, but unfortunately he is face down now. A life coming up to pour him, but yeah, you're probably gonna need that Cecil swinging that Poison Axe to get through this. Oh no, and that's a bonk to Sid. I don't think we have any ribbons here. This is looking kind of bad here. You hope that wall, as it moves forward, takes a couple swings at that Rosa, and unfortunately, Board AI rears its ugly head again, and there's a reset. Mecha loses the grind. Oh no.
Feels bad, but I can understand being in Mecha's position when your team is down one game, and you know that you have, like, both you and Cecil have to win. So you swing for the fences. Like,
yep.
You know, we've had many of these conversations in our tournament chat as well. Like, when you're a game down and you're facing someone that's as good as Starman, and both Mecha Link and Starman are fantastic runners, but sometimes you have to take a gamble if you think you're outmatched and need to win. So like that feels like what happened, and unfortunately just didn't pay it out.
Meanwhile, Starman continuing with the Gold Dragon grind there, rewarded with standard Gold Dragon rewards, pops the next Siren, away we go there. Luff is cleaning up the Baron Inn. Cecil just took out the there, so it has achieved Darkness Crystal parity. Now, the question is, I know Cecil was in Eblan. The question is, I don't know if he got that Holy Sword yet or not.
That's a great question. I don't know if it was there or else. Yeah, I no idea.
I love this backup here for Mecha Link. Is coming in, says, I have all the coffins here. I need a grind that coffins work on. Oh wait, coffins work on warlocks. That works. And it's almost as much as a as a set of gold dragons. Is a little bit more on the resources with life glitching here. It's just gonna go berserk on Rosa here. That works as well here. So yeah, this is a good backup here coming from Mecha to kind of get back even here. Yeah, this is definitely a heads up play here, and is gonna get the life glitches as well.
Meanwhile, Cecil now launching the Blue Whale. Luff picking up Edge as well, doing a little bit more shopping. Starman going to show us the Crystal Sword Altar. Now, this is kind of an interesting spot in that it's lower HP than a lot of other spots on the moon, and depending on the boss here, is kind of doable.
It does have a great amount of magic attacks, so you're hoping for something like, maybe like a Ruby or something like that. But is a little fast and does punch a lot hard here. Ha ha ha! Golbez running the Chuckle Hut here at the Crystal Sword Altar. That's a partially required Crystal Sword Altar. Starman resets out and says, "I'll be right back. We're gonna do a little bit of preparation. Here come the sizes. Here come the piggies." Yeah, this is we're just gonna make ourselves immune to that opening. Now, here's the spooky part about this fight here. As I just said, the magic attack at this spot is not great. what you're really hoping for, I don't know if Starman has any heal potions. Because if you can keep that Cecil upright, and I mean, I guess you don't need a Berserk, you just need to, yeah, he's Piggy, never mind. Yeah, as long as you can get Cecil up and swinging that Crystal Sword, you're fine. But if you're counting on the reflected damage here, you're not going to get all the way there.
No, you're absolutely right. But this is set up reasonably well. Oh, well, thanks, Z. Or thanks, Galvez. Wonderful board face AI at it again.
Oh yeah, if you thought it was only just taking out Mecha Link or any of our other runners, I have news for you. No, that board AI, it wants to deal with everybody fairly. And Rosa gets an action, does Veil herself, and is ready to throw a life potion over to Cecil there. And Cecil to the runner says, I have found a holy man, and that's enough moon for me, and is headed back down. Yeah, that lit 3 did not even go to 4 digits there, so unfortunate. Mecha has completed those. Kind of gives us a little bit of fake out heading that Crystal Sword altar, but Mecha also going to be greeted with the other half of our boss hunts, so our boss hunts are off the board.
This is incredible for this head-to-head matchup between Mecha Link and Starman. Both of them making, I'm going to say, low percent plays. Like, this isn't a standard play to immediately go to the moon. It's a smart play, one that smart runners can do when they're confident in their levels and their ability to get through something. But for both runners to say, nah, I'm both going to the moon, I'm both grinding, and I'm both doing Crystal Sword, and just happen to find objective, they're both going to feel ahead after this is all said and done.
Note here, it's really weird to say at the 49-minute mark, but Cecil and Luff might be the first two trying to get underground.
What is this seed? Scotland, did you roll this? Can we blame you for this one?
I mean, I love me some wide open spaces in these seeds. Make our runners make some hard decisions. Make them sweat.
Interesting, in Mecha Link opts to just mini everyone as opposed to alternating, making sure that your heavy hitters can be up. Hasn't found that Crystal Sword, so there was no real incentive to make sure that Cecil was up and doing his job. But my goodness, Cecil and Rosa, and of course the Tella all gain that experience on Starman's side, and is rewarded with required
Crystal Sword altar. Wow. Starman getting huge value, and Mecha Link should hopefully be following suit here. Does need a little bit more here to possibly, yeah, it's gonna be a little more of an interesting fight here, just given again no holy sword, and that's what got Starman through this pretty quickly here. Meanwhile, Cecil 2 is in the tower, Luff hot on his heels here.
Just a reminder to every one of our viewers, this matchup, remember, Luff and Starman, only one of the two need to win their respective matchups. These two teams are both 4-2. So a win here puts them in that 5-2 scrum and still alive for the final 4 playoff matchups as we enter in the final week 8. So every decision made in this particular race is a significant decision, and my goodness, this is living up to the hype up to this point, isn't it?
Mecha is, at least doing the heads up, doesn't have to go immediately for those Star Veils, given that these, that Rosa took 66 from that Fire 2 there. So knows that she has time here to get her party back up to good here. Unfortunately, you do need to heal those you lifed up there. Okay, Cecil does have a Veil there. Meanwhile, Starman has made his way to the Ribbon Room, and oh my, bonus round here at 42,000.
What?
And Starman immediately reaching for the kitchen sink here. I did see a Ninja Blade here in Upper Babel that Luff got to. do not know if Cecil had it, as both of them are to the Mad Ogres here. We do have Weeks coming out here. That's a base level Cecil for Cecil 2 there. Makes sense. He was the first one there. Should actually get a halfway decent slingshot. I don't. Did that cursor move? Or nope, unfortunately mistargeted life glitch. You hate to see it. But is weaking most of these here. So yeah, it's going to get through that. And Mecha is just trying to keep some people upright here that aren't named Cecil. Golbez is picking them off just as fast as they're going. Rosa does get the Berserk up and is starting some offense here. But unfortunately, that virus brings her down. And yeah, Golbez given Mecha Link the business here, unfortunately.
Meanwhile, Starman is setting up, trying to get people up and rolling, and Link's out. The issue is this Demus does hit quite hard here, and is a Holy Elemental, so that Holy Sword that we found is actually not going to be doing quite as much damage as it normally would, because it's Demist and it's Holy Elemental.
Mad Ogre's just with an apple, keeps Doctors away, but will not keep that Asura away at the bottom here. I hope they found some Mage Killers. I mean, you will be able to Starveil through that. Of note, neither of them looks to have found a Crystal Sword, but I believe both of their Cecils are rocking lightsabers.
Budget Holy Sword, great value Holy Sword, Walmart brand Holy Sword, whatever you want to call it, it'll do.
I mean, I feel like the Legend Sword is the great value. I mean, we can go a little bit better here with a lightsaber. That's got to be what's in the middle here?
Like Target brand?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Lightsaber's a Target brand Holy Sword.
So both Cecil and Luff are almost simultaneously starting this fight, and that's an antlion here.
Taking a vacation from the moon at a place that most of our people don't want to see here, as antlion just casually smacks Edge for a bunch here. Now that heroin robe Rosa on Cecil's side is going to be pretty well protected here, and get these blinks out. Actually may have a little easier time here. Both of them do have it, but that's a front row Rosa there, so still going to be taking pretty full damage here. Here come blinks. Cecil 2 might have the advantage in this one here, even with that edge down here. Mecha did not get through, is leaving Rosa upright. I mean, does have Tella, so Picky is available, but might just want to... I don't know if this is wall here. Yeah, that Crystal Sword is just doing so much for Starman, even not so much for this Demist, but yeah, anyway, Cecil is through the antlion and is going to see Asura here.
This might be one of the first times in this tournament that I've ever been able to say this. Cecil will be the first one into the underground, but I don't think he's in the lead when you look at everyone else on the stream, when everything else that we have going on and all the moon access.
Well, I mean, he may not be the one in the lead here, but the only one he needs to be ahead of is Luff, and he might be slightly ahead of Luff. Unfortunately, I do think he is out of mute arrows. I think they've all got a little spendy with those here, and I'm not seeing much in the way of... I do see a couple throwables there for that edge here, but yeah, okay, here come the Veils, so gonna go reflect strategy here. Might just bounce the second one. Well, I mean, you had Telefor, so you didn't even use those, but... Yeah, that's pretty good damage coming out from that Cecil. I'm not too mad at that here. Okay, is going for the wall from Tella here, so yeah, that's a good thing because Edge just got double bonked here, so well, okay. So Mecha Link still working on Golbez, Starman still working on that Demist. Yeah, counting on the Cecil. I mean, that Edge is still doing a little bit. Tella bonking for 35. Get him, Tella. Now Rosa is upright. It looks like everybody's upright now on Mecha's side here. Must have got some lives off here, and might just be the whole maybe a good cure 3 from Porm will get everybody to not dying from a single spell range here. But again, it's just Mecha's probably just mostly concerned with keeping Rosa upright. Doesn't have enough veils to last forever, but I mean, this spot is reasonably fast, so a veil should last for quite some time. Yep, Cecil 2 throwing the kitchen sink here. I'm pretty sure that was one of the big Dragoon Spears flying at Asura there. Tella goes down, huge loss, I'm sure.
Well, this might be a long fight on Starman's side, because Cecil is now zerked up and just swinging away at ghosts in the mist.
Oh my, yeah, that's death by 1,000 cold mists, anybody?
Take a little bit more than 1,000, because they're only doing 1 damage a pop.
Yep, so we've got Dueling Asuras still up top here. Now Cecil is actually doing some pretty good work. Those lightsaber swings coming in for quite a bit here. Okay, now there goes D-Mist. So Starman is through that fight and is going to get rewarded with party arrows and another objective. Now, here's the good news for you people rooting for Mecha Link and Cecil here. That our runners are taking, our 2 different races are taking very similar runs here. So between this, Luff or Cecil would be a little punished for fading this moon, except they're both doing the same thing.
So that's got to be one of the first things that we end up doing when we get to the underground. Right as Cecil, by the way, is the first one to the underground. Luff right on his tail. A Dark Elf here, by the way. Magic attack here is not bad.
But you know what's really great against Dark Elf?
A Crystal Sword?
Yeah, that Cecil will be showing us how it does 9,999 at a time. Now the good news is, as long as Mecha Link can get through the Dark Elf portion of that, throwing an Hourglass makes it pretty free as well here. And it does look like Poison Axe Cecil will be joining the fray on Mecha Link's side. Now, I guess that's just a Mute Knife there, but any kind of additional damage right now for Mecha Link here to get through this Golbez is good damage.
But Mecha Link does get through, has the script for why, and is going to be rewarded.
Yep. Meanwhile, Cecil saying, my grind is not good enough here. He's saying I'm gonna go make some eggs here, and with this Cecil swinging for 8 damage short. Oh my. Porm cleans up with 134 though.
Interesting that Starman has said, you know what, I'm good. Let me go check to see what this boss fight is. Exits out, does save. The Burst on my altar is the objective that is up here. I gotta think our levels are reasonable right now.
Mecha Link is wishing that she was at this dwarf shop right now, because that was a samurai bow. And there's Bigan Dwarf here, and I actually feel pretty good. This is, Cecil's levels are a little low here, so I am actually a big fan of taking a few eggs here to catch up here. Did Mecha just pop a chest here for that Warlock and Kari fight? Because if so, that was probably, here comes the Hourglass. Here comes the Berserk on Cecil with that Mute Knife, and Rosa following suit here. That is one of the best possible trap chests you could open on the moon there, because, again, this is life glitchable. The Warlock is weak to mute stuff, as Rosa is showing off here. Gonna take a second to deal with those Karis there, but again, this could equalize. If this is a Holy Sword, if this is an Adamant Armor, this could be Mecha Link's ticket right back into this race. As unfortunately, Starman sees this wall. Cecil is standing with a Crystal Sword, and yeah, actually, never mind. That should, as long as that wall just doesn't like super high roll, that Cecil will just solo this wall. Yeah.
Yeah, this is going to get through. Going to miss the experience on the rest of the party, which certainly you would want to see it on at least the Porum of all the other party members. But otherwise, Crystal Sword Cecil kind of breaks things.
Yep, breaking this wall definitely. Mecha Link is through that fight. I'm interested to see when it comes to this trap chest here. I'm interested in seeing what Luff is going to get out of Dwarf in terms of characters. X-Scal on that, and I missed the trap chest.
I know, I saw the X-Scal as well, so I wonder if anyone in chat noticed exactly what Mecha found in her trap chest.
Yep, so gonna see the character coming out of Dwarf here for Luff, and that is, that's a Palom, and I think the ship might have sailed here. But Luff is thinking about it and is hovering over Sid and says, no, I will take a Black Mage here. And Starman might be going for cave value here. No, is going for the Hummingway shop. Hasn't checked that. I guess doesn't know that it is full of coffins.
Yep, I think the plan on Starman's side, and it's a logical plan. Do your objectives, which he has done up to this point. Still has to do the Twin Heart. I imagine that's going to be almost immediately what he decides to do.
Link sees that Demas, and I do not blame her for saying, no thanks, I don't have a good way of killing this anytime soon. I mean, does have the white mages to actually do it, but no. Luff does find dolls, that's vanilla dolls, I believe, there, and cleans up with flame. Oh no, that's French vanilla dolls, sorry. But yeah, those are out. Cecil has moved over to Dwarf as well and is running right into the room. No shopping required here. Mecha Link finds a much easier Dark Elf to deal with here, as Starman's going to give us our check at value.
A little bit punchy. Little bit
Punchy. I don't know what exact armor the Cecil is rocking, but if it got him through Evil Wall, it probably gets him through,
Yeah, it's hitting, yeah. Yep, everyone's favorite dude.
hand from the warp glitch there, so yeah, that's gonna lead probably to an almost immediate check of I would guess Sheila 1, 2, and the Pan Bonk there, although we know that the longer Loof and Cecil stay off the moon, I'm not gonna say the worse it gets for them, but we do know that moon is very required this seed, with at least 3 objectives up there. And again, Mecha Link all just needs to get to the me change portion of this fight here before being able to just toss an hourglass and forget about it. But Loof is going to give us our peek here at the Pan Bonk here as Starman deals with that Pale Dim. Unfortunately, Edge and Tella still down here, but Starman is going to collect. Do you want to say it?
No, because here's the thing. It's not just we can get underground now. It's avoiding everything else, because we're not boss hunt checking anymore. We've got all the boss hunts done.
Oh, that's true. And Starman
absolutely.
Yeah, we can actually get underground now, because, hey, we don't even have to do that hook route. And Starman says, yes, I am happy with that. I'm headed back to the blue planet. The question was, have we seen Ogopogo Altar?
We didn't. Starman noped out before checking that Masamune spot. Now, it's the only location, so if something like Zot is there, it's either Zot or Forge is what we're looking for right now. So
Yeah,
if one of the two pieces is there.
Yeah, gonna get a peek at this Demist here that Mechalink did not take, as Mechalink does deal with the Dark Elf here. So that's good here. So Starman is going to collect a just a Ninja Blade here. Mechalink is actually going to be really. I don't know if Mechalink bails right now because hey, that's a pink tail. We do burn miss, and oh my! The Lunarian, the myth, the legend. But does Fu get into Starman's team? Yeah, he tried. No, wait,
Yeah.
he can't trade Tella. I'm like, oh, he can get rid of no, hero.
No, but I'm getting rid of Porum. Like, if I'm Starman at this point in time, I'm absolutely getting rid of Porum. You don't need levels on Fu. He's already kind of set.
Yep, that is objective number 4 for Starman here. Again, a couple of key items away from go. Mechalink is going to show us here the Crystal Sword Altar, what Starman did fade. So we're hoping for spicy. If you're Mechalink, you're hoping for something hourglassable and coffinable, but that is neither. Wow, that is exactly what you do not want to see on your Ogo altar. Heaping helping of a leg.
Yeah, that leg did not skip leg day, by the way. Definitely those glares hit hard. No thank you.
Yeah, that is come back with an adamant armor actually, which hey, we got a pigtail on the moon. Or at least yeah, both Mechalink and Starman did. Mechalink is says I've had enough of this place. Moon not really been kind here. Starman is still in do your objectives here. So yeah, that's big here. Cecil has finished Dwarf. Loof is did hit that pan. I did not see. I believe did the pan bonk. Legend Sword. Oh, Legend Sword on the pan bonk.
I think Legend was from Sheila 1, and
Yeah.
the pan bonk was nothing. But either way, I mean, that chain leading to one of the objectives, certainly something that we'd like to see our other runners end up doing. We know that Luff and Cecil eventually have to get to the moon just because it's so stacked. But Starman and Mechalink both kind of done at this point in time.
Yeah. The big thing is that yeah, that Crystal Sword just giving Starman just such a huge boost here. Mechalink is going, and I don't know if Starman actually did turn in for that adamant armor, which Mechalink is absolutely doing here, and do not blame at all. Mechalink did get at least the twin harp, so probably will be going to do that next. But yeah, Starman could just dive underground here. And is giving the adamant armor to that Cecil. So adamant armor, poison axe, I mean, not terrible.
No, I mean, you'd certainly want that crystal sword, but you know, if I were in Mecha shoes, I might prioritize. You don't necessarily need levels, but hey, you got that. Oh, I guess it doesn't have hit. So,
yeah, Loof heading up Keyless Tower. Cecil at an hour 10 is giving us our first peek at the Fey March.
Meanwhile, Starman is giving us our first peek for DJ Spoony B. That's just a crystal ring there in the Fey March for the freebie, but here's your music. Okay, so Starman through. Absolutely, but we have a reprise almost immediately.
I get to calm down here and not have to talk as much.
So, what was our objectives that we were looking for? Oh, right, we're done.
Yeah, Starman getting all the big hits here. Yeah, that's go mode there. We do know where sirens are. Needs a few levels here, but yeah, that's bad news for Mecha Link, and yeah, that's as Mecha Link does get that objective, it does not know that it is actually two objectives, and yeah, as Starman, unfortunately and rightfully so, is not playing Rate That Treasury. I miss Rate That Treasury, but here we are. Cecil is going to turn in the pin, get half a Forge, and I believe a Moonveil here. Starman not even bothering with petting the doggo here. I mean, I don't blame him either, but here we are. But yeah, Starman in go mode, and it's looking really good here for team last minute decisions.
This is one of those setups where, I mean, just kudos to Starman. One of these sorts of seats does not come along very frequently where you can fade going underground entirely. Like, underground is just not something you have to do at all.
Yeah, and yeah, I did not actually see the lunar sparkle there that Cecil did. I did see that a white spear was the reward here for Officer Soldier, so nothing here. I mean, the only thing that could still be here is, you know, the Adamant Rock. That's the only part of, that's the only objective we have not seen yet. So, yeah, the moon play is definitely, and here's a turtle.
So worth pointing out, Starman did burn Miss Village, but did not pick up that foo. I wonder, hey, you're in go mode now. Like, you need levels. You'd like to get, you know, a few more on your edge and a little bit on your Rosa, maybe. But do you take the time to trade in that foo?
I mean, it's definitely a thought that can happen here. By the way, Doggo in vanilla chess with a Yong standing at the first character here. But, oh, well, Mecha Link gets Crystal Sword parity too late, unfortunately, here, as the Doggo did have a Holy Sword.
That's fantastic to see, and I'm sure there's some grumblings on her side as you're like, yeah, that would have been helpful like 30 minutes ago.
Yep, does get a Rydia as the other character in the Tower of Zot here. It is reminded that a curse ring exists here. Has had that curse ring for some time. Now, Zot is not the place. Oh, oh no! Luff taking that Wyvern on the Queen spot, and guess what? Wyvern's got Mass Charm.
Oh, that's horrible. Now, there's a few pieces of equipment that can help you. Adamant doesn't, but like I think the bandana does. Is one item that prevents charm. There's a couple things that prevent it.
and Luff is going back and is actually going in with Golbez strats here, and I'm wondering if Size and or Mini stop it. And I'm actually very intrigued to figure out if that is the case.
It is.
The more we learn. Now, now here's the thing: we do have to. We can't exactly berserk our party now, so Love has to pump out some damage here. Meanwhile, Cecil 2 is headed for K value, is possibly going to mine the boss here, but if he gets the magma key from this, might be a small amount of grumbling. Zot has a Baron key, which will go completely unchecked from Starman. Mecha could fall down that hole, but again, Starman may opt for a bit more of a grind. Now, again, picking up that Cecil, very possible. Or picking up that Fu, I'm sorry, very possible here. So Starman is taking off, and is Starman just going for it?
Starman's just going for it. Says, "I'm good. I'm set." So yeah.
Has Adamant Crystal Cecil, has a Rosa with 1,800 hit points. Aporum not yet with Cure 4 is super in the lead here, and yep, there's the pass. We've got Z flags coming out a little faster than I anticipated here. You want to do the honors?
Sure. So these Z flags represent a question that our community asks itself because we're free enterprise. We're a randomizer community. We mix up the songs, we mix up the bosses, we mix up everything we can. One of the things we can't mix up, unfortunately, is going to be the Zeromus character fight because he just has a few too many weird things going on. So you can't mix them up in a Big Bang, and the Antline Cave sure would be rude. So what's the randomizer community to do when we want to randomize everything? Well, he reveals his true colors once you use the crystal on him, and those true colors ends up being one of more than 600 sprites curated by our very own Scala Kitty and submitted by the rest of the community. So the Z flag represents the question, whose butt are we gonna kick tonight?
And Loof, I believe, unfortunately, still bounced off that Wyvern there. Was not able to get that going too fast here. Meanwhile, Cecil is on the moon, has this pale dim. That Cecil's swinging pretty good. Am I sure that's a lightsaber? I'm not sure that's a lightsaber. That could be an Excal.
Does get through, gets the magma. Happy to see it.
Okay, Paul's saying we have that's definitely doing more of the light sword damage. I'm gonna guess that's an Excal, but yeah, butt looks pretty cute today.
It's very cute. What is that, Pouringmas?
That's where I saw it from. Thank you, Skull. Yeah, Ragnarok Online. Never played it. I remember this being kind of like the cute lethal monster, wasn't it?
And I'm sure it was bad. Sure.
Meanwhile, Starman just tossing those. Wow, that Crystal Sword Adamant Cecil just casually swinging for 7k a hit. Yeah, that's pretty spicy here. So, yep, Loof is up to hit the Mura Altar, is going to see the Evil Wall. Cecil going to be right behind him. Mecha Link is headed for that Baron, which we know can only have an Adamant Rock here, unfortunately.
Yeah, I'll say this. Starman about optimally routed this seed as best as you possibly could. Right? Just everything seemed to fall in line exactly where he wanted to go and exactly what he did. Getting the Crystal Sword and Adamant, and even the way you don't immediately turn in the pink tail, you go do Twin Harp, and oh, by the way, here's the rat tail, so you can double that turn in and save an extra trip there. Just everything ended up falling exactly into place how Starman. I don't know if you could have run this seed any better if you knew what was going on.
The big question here is this Big Bang nerfed here? Because this could unfortunately rolled high enough. Rosa survives, Cecil survives, that's all you need, never mind.
is a black hole, so chance to get Cecil reserved up.
Rosa is on top of that here, as Mecha Link does coast right through this Baron here. What characters have we not seen yet? That's Porum, and I believe that's Duplicate Porum. Yes, that's Duplicate Porum here. Cecil does get the counter nuke for about half of his HP.
And we are at Rock's Fall now.
Yep. Cecil is retaliating by doing all of Zeromus's HP, so, you know, an eye for an eye there.
Crash, boom, bang, and Starman gets through, is the winner with an impressive 122.31. Woo, GG's to Starman, not only winning this race, but is providing the team a victory to move to 5-2. GG's to Starman, and joining us in the booth now.
Hey.
What a race.
Yep. Sure was something.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm gonna guess here. Again, this, you know, each kind of set of teams here took two very different directions here. Was that crystal sword basically the I'm going to head up to the moon and deal with it? Was that the point where you said, okay, I can deal with this?
It was more I was looking for something to strap to the Cecil before I did anything else. I didn't get any really good weapons out of my earlier checks. So I was hunting for something. Anything.
Yeah, it kind of turned into the perfect storm there, with Moon just having, gating, what, 5 objectives?
Let's see. Package. Golbez. Who was guarding the harp.
Yep, which led to the rat tail, which gave you a crystal.
And then you have Murasami Altar, so yes, 5 objectives, yep. And with the early gauntlet up on Hobbs.
Yep, there you go. Yeah, the big thing here is both of you kind of you and Mecha Link had the same idea. You both went up to reuse. Mecha Link kind of YOLO'd into the Evil Wall fight, and unlike you, unfortunately, did not have the crystal sword for that Cecil yet. Only had, I believe, a mute knife on that Cecil. So unfortunately, post grind bounced off the Evil Wall.
So had to do the grind again.
Yeah, went to Warlocks after that, which actually probably turned out a little bit better for her. But yeah, that was probably the biggest thing. Yeah, that crystal sword you pulled out of Eblan was pretty much all the difference there. As we do see Mecha is back for revenge against that Evil Wall with the Crystal Sword Adamant Cecil. Loof has dealt with the Mura Altar, and Cecil is in the Ribbon Room with this D-Mist.
Which will take a hot minute. I found literally no good weapons for the Edge, and by the time like the Ninja Sword showed up, I was like, eh. His entire job was throwing Excalic Zeromus, and that was it by the end.
Yep, we did actually find the Adamant Rock, which is apparently, I guess we can add to that, because the Baron Key you got out of the Twin Harp was led to the Adamant Rock in the Baron Pot. So 5.5 objectives on the moon. Amazing.
I'm going to watch back my own key item chain here, because I'm curious where the other half was. If it was at the part of the... Okay, so full disclosure, I did not fade the Masamune altar on purpose. For some reason, in the back of my head, something was like, hey, you're already in go mode, why are you still here? When I was walking out, when I was doing the White Spiral altar.
I mean, that's perfectly good, and I can let you know that you faded a Rubicant on that Oko altar, so you wanted no part of that anyway.
Oh, good. And meanwhile, with no heavy casters, this D-Mist here is miserable.
Yeah, very miserable, very required with that package there. But yeah, it's that route definitely went super well for you here. And yeah, was absolutely the difference. But yeah, that moon ultra stacked here, and yeah, you and Mecha were pretty lockstep when you got to the moon, it was just, again, that crystal sword just carved your way through it there.
And she went straight. I'm guessing she went straight to the Murasame altar.
Yes, actually pulled Sirens outside of the Murasame altar, did 2 sets of Ryus in front, and then unfortunately poked it before saving.
Unfortunate.
Yeah, again, though, I think the Crystal Sword was a little bit insurmountable there, so yeah, have Cecil find weapon, yes.
Have Cecil find weapon. Have a grind in my back pocket already. Let's just go to the moon, get some like dragons for dinner, go down and oh hi Golpez.
Yeah. Yes, but that takes last minute decisions up to 5-2, and in that big scrum there for week 8, wanting to get in the playoffs. So how you feeling walking into week 8?
I'm feeling okay. Yeah. Everything's fine.
Anything else you want to ask for Tasia?
No, just GG's. That was an amazing run. It was very entertaining just to see, not ever going underground. Everything else was just set up fine for us.
Who needs to go to the underground portion of the moon if everything? I'm not the underground portion of the moon. Underground when you have everything above ground.
So I don't know if you were watching your own run back there. The one thing underground was pan via the warp glitch, led to Sheila 1. Well, actually, you didn't even need the pan. It was on Sheila 1. Sheila 1 had the Legend Sword, so that was the only thing that required underground.
Well, thank you for having me, and I think I'm good to go.
Yes, you are. Well run and well played. Yes.
Later, everyone.
Mecha getting the news that an edge was available the whole time, or may have just come back for it, not waiting to deal with that vowel there. So here's the thing. While Last Minute Decisions has won the week here and will go to 5-2, Luff versus Cecil actually carries a pretty good amount of weight here. Now, it won't matter for next week, as it will be more Swiss here. But if we do have to go to tiebreakers after that, match record will matter. And if Luff is able to beat Cecil here, that will move Last Minute Decisions into, I believe, a 5-way or 4-way tie here at 14-7, maybe 5. Oh, it matters week 8 too. Oh, okay. I'm just talking a little bit off the cuff, but yeah, it's Luff versus Cecil still carries a lot of weight right now, just because it's going to be a very it's going to be strap in for week 8, because we are going to have a lot of matches that matter.
Well, and we won't necessarily get into the speculation of who can race who, because week 8 is going to be so hype. So make sure, if you have vacation time at work, just take it off next week, because there's going to be so many hype races that are coming in next week. It's really the first elimination week of matches that are coming up before the big tournament, because there's a lot of teams sitting here at that 5-2 right now. Team Wombat Milk sitting comfortably is the only team at 6-1, but they're also in a position where if they drop one and fall down into the 2-win column with everyone else, if they drop that the next week, then they, with all the other tiebreakers going on, might be knocked out as well. So no one is guaranteed in yet.
It's a wonderful time to be watching Free Enterprise, and even I believe there are some scenarios, I believe, here that it is kind of dependent with how this week finishes out here, that I believe there are still some scenarios where one of our teams still sitting at 4-3 do have ways to sneak in, so there's going to be a lot of live teams still left here.
Yeah, just be on the lookout. It's going to be an amazing set of races. I know, Night Dew and I, we've all been talking about our teams and what we have to look forward to next week. I'm sure all those other teams are as well, but this is peak Free Enterprise right now. This is where, a lot of the drama, not drama per se, but a lot of the good races end up coming from. as Luff finds the package right there. Cecil has already found it as well. Oh my goodness, it's just so hype right now, and we're getting down to the end of the line with the tournament. It's such a fun.
Oh wait, yeah, never mind. Cecil too does not have that adamant armor. Does have that crystal sword. Ran into Ruby, which we know is not required. But unfortunately, Ruby targeted that glare at Cecil, and even with Dragoon armor, he still took about 5,000.
Yeah, Ruby punchy.
Yep. Now the big thing here is Cecil is going to come back up and hit that Murasame altar here, but this match between Luff and Cecil is really actually close. Oh, Cecil's actually up the K Bahamut, which we know is just a magma key, and both of them did hook route on their way down. Cecil is about to get the good, bad, otherwise news of the double, the hard required Golbez pointing to the rest of the seed, pretty much.
This spot, I mean, getting this and then it being Twin Harp and Twin Harp leading into the Rat Tail, which gives us the Earth Crystal. I mean, you can leave immediately after this. We'll have to, I mean, let's think about everything he has to do. So this is going to be Golbez 1, Magnus 2. Won't have the Forge, but he'll be able to complete Zod. Still has to do the Murasame altar, but has also picked up the package. So, really, as soon as you leave here, just go do the Mura altar, and you're good.
Yeah, well, I mean, actually, if Cecil does bail and doesn't, well, I mean, you're gonna hit the Mura altar regardless because, hey, objective there. I was about to say, if, in a world where he didn't do it, would still get go mode off of the Baron pot. So, yeah.
So Mecha Link just found the Legend Sword, so that will be her 6th and final objective. Gets to dodge that demist that she had wiped on earlier in order to be able to turn this in. Remember, that's where the package was, so won't be burning down the village, but will be getting, you know, a great weapon for an old man who's not going to be using it for very long.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, best case here right now is if Nirvana Staff comes up, and that's just so Porum can grab it.
All right, so we do see Luff, who opted to reset out. Oh, no, okay, is going all the way back down to Ruby. Meanwhile, Cecil is through Golbez.
Yeah, bouncing, if Luff keeps trying to bounce off that route, did reset again here, is backing up here, so not sure what that's about here. Mecha Link is going to check the shop here, runs into the shop inventory boss, unfortunately, here. Cecil says, oh, hey, thanks for all the free stuff, and is exiting out, very much likely to probably at least cabin or rest in the whale here. This is the shop Mecha Link wishes she had seen forever ago. That was an Artie Bow. And yeah, here that comes, and Rosa is, yeah, Samurai Bows, and yeah, it's being on Archer Bow and counting on Rosa as that much of a damage is, yeah, you hate to see it, unfortunately, here, as it's going to sell a bit more. That is a pretty spicy Cocal shop, actually.
Yeah, Artie Bow, power shirts, life staffs for, you know, your couple of white mages that you currently have. Absolutely love to see it.
Yep, everything must go except for the crystal ring. We have need of those. Alright, so Cecil is up to this evil wall, and Cecil is just swinging away as Cecil does here. So it is pretty much just the keep him alive show here. Luff has moved on from Ruby here and has found the comedy hour as well here. Out come the demolishes, and Golba is targeting anybody who has more than 10 hit points. It looks like, as we have an Edge with 1 and a Tella with 5 remaining here. Does look like that Star Veil got off from Edge with more than enough time to spare here. But is gonna be don't know if Luff is gonna try to start resurrecting the party here. But yeah, this evil wall doesn't look like it can do too much against this well-equipped Cecil here over on Cecil's side.
This seed certainly demonstrated the power of what a crystal sword Cecil can do, with or without adamant. It really changed the characteristic of everyone in this race at different points in time. Just if you find Cecil and you find a crystal sword, everything's going to be fine.
Yep, and okay, that is not a Berserk Cecil. Might be a Berserk Cecil here very soon. That wall is getting awfully close here. Oh no, that wall is way too close. That's Crush coming out. How close is Cecil 2 here from finishing this fight? That's a Berserk Edge. Damage coming out, and might have one last swing with Cecil here. No, oh no, that's Crush coming out, and that's a wipe, unfortunately. Did not have enough damage there. Probably wants to berserk that Cecil as soon as possible. Cecil is saying, I'm good, bye. Which we know is actually not going to harm him too much here. But that's really good news for Luff, who already has it done. Will take the objective lead. And Mecha Link is to her Z fight here. So yeah, that's a lot of stuff going down here.
Looking for, there's the silk webs, trying to get some sort of slowing down of Z at this point in time, and the counter nuke to the target you don't mind, Sid.
Yep, Sid or Tella, either one would have been fine, because I don't even know if this Tella actually survives a nerfed Big Bang here. But Cecil doing the exact same thing that he did on Starman's side there, just getting all the damage here, 6,000 to 7,000 at a time. That is okay. That's Sid getting berserked. I'm like, I think Rose is actually on White Mage duty here this time around, but or is this? I cannot. Is Rosa tri-zerking here? That is a distinct possibility. That's kind of spicy given the fact that Form probably doesn't know Cure 4 yet.
Yep, that's what it appears is going on. We're gonna have tri-zerking with Cecil, Sid, and Rosa. With, I guess, Tella is survived, so he can throw some pity cures.
I mean, that Cure 4 did about 500 there, and combined with that Cure 3 should fix everything that came from the Big Bang, so that's great. Cecil Burning Down Mist does get the news of the Fu Soya that was on the package. Does Cecil take the Fu?
I mean, I don't know. I said I would have taken the Fu, and I was proved to be a liar from everyone else, so I don't know.
I mean, it's a little bit of a cutscene, but I totally actually get your I get your whole thing of, yeah, I would totally want a Fu over and are we going quad here? Is Mecha saying we're quad zerking now? Yeah, there goes the berserk. It's landing up for him.
Quit! We're getting a quit!
Oh, we're getting quit? Get him, Tella! Controller down for Mecha Link here.
Can I just say, this is the most ridiculous quit zerk I've ever seen in my life with...
I am absolutely here for this. I think this actually works so long as we don't get the Big Bang into Medio Wombo combo here.
That's what I'm most worried about. Like we're at the damage threshold where we're getting close to the wombo combo. If we can push past it right into a Meteo, we'll be fine. If there's any lower, typically we get a black hole after that second Big Bang if we don't push it immediately into that final phase. So it'll be close and right into rocks.
Yep, that's through. The Quint pays off. Here comes Rocks, and it's all over but the crack boom for Mecha Link here, as there's a crack boom there. Again, was just got a lot of misfortune on there. Board AI was a very unkind to Mecha on this seed there, so yeah, so down goes Z here, and I do not know, are we getting a...
Meanwhile, Luff is also burning. It looks like Cecil did not take the food, so I'm proving every second how bad of a runner I am, and poor decision making is happening. But Luff, we'll see. One more chance, Luff. Come on.
And with that ding, I believe, yes, we are joined by Mecha Link here. GG. Got some pretty bad rolls that seed, but did finish that up. I did love the spicy moon play there, but how you feeling?
You go. All right, that's better.
Okay, welcome back.
Yeah. Sorry. Yep.
So walk us through. I mean, it looked like you made a fantastic call staying up on the moon. That ended up being the right call, but
This is literally Starman's seed from last week, and I watched his seed from last week, so I knew exactly what he was going to do, and I knew I had to do the same thing. Like that was that's exactly what happened. I was playing, we had Telestard, we had saw the Darkness Crystal. I'm like, uh-oh. Right? We see we get the boss hunts like half done on the blue planet. It's like, uh-oh. Right? Just we go to the moon and Cecil's on the dais again. It's just like
yeah, it really and I'm guessing you both kind of talked about it after there, but the biggest thing here was Eblan Castle here, and the big thing kind of between you here is that both of you went for Ryu's there, but I'm gonna guess that crystal sword that Starman pulled out of Eblan probably would have won your evil wall fight there. But yeah, that was the biggest of differences there. That D-Mist you bounced off did have the package as well. So we counted it out. There were a good 5.5 objectives on the moon.
Yeah, I caught that in the spoiler roll. Jeez. He did last week. He didn't even bother with Eblan Castle. I did one chest in Eblan Castle, and it didn't pay out particularly well.
Because I absolutely loved the whole idea, and even after the evil wall going down for the warlocks there was kind of heads up there, kind of just the whole I don't want to go through this again. I'm a little bit on tilt, but yeah, warlocks were a good plan B there.
I mean, I was fine with doing these again, but there was no need to. Right, like there was no need to, right? Like in the sense that like I had the same tools to do warlocks, right? So there was no need to. It was purely the evil wall was there, and like we couldn't do that. Yeah, maybe I should have. Maybe I should have. Like I don't understand like digging hard for crystal swords when Cecil not, although he did get Edge, right? And Edge sends you to Eblan, so that makes more sense. And it paid off with the crystal sword for the Cecil we didn't have.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, actually, Luff had found the Cecil there, so was definitely digging the crystal sword with that Cecil. I mean, everybody kind of took circuitous routes to that ordeals into that. So yeah, everybody eventually got there as their first play, but took wildly differing routes there.
I mean, it's I don't know. Like having Edge there definitely sends you towards sends you towards Eblan to get him geared up, which gets you the Crystal Sword, which makes that Cecil murder machine, which does things a lot easier. I got my crystal later, but it was, again, it solved the seed, right? So yeah, that's probably that's another big divergence.
Yeah.
Unfortunate, but
yeah, it was really interesting because both you and Starman elected to head to the moon, while the left Cecil that we do see is still going on. Both of them did find the Cecil, did kind of poke a little bit around the moon, but both
went
returned
right back down.
Yeah, both returned to the blue planets.
Yeah, no, I mean, again, this is Starman seed from last week. Starman is of the Demarine school, where the moon is the play. And last week it worked out exactly the same way. Like, everything was through the moon. And this week, everything was through the moon. Right? So he did the same thing. It took him a little longer because demist is gnarly. And he checked more chests this week probably than he checked last week. But yeah, that's it's impressive. Oh wow. But yeah, no, it was good. Like, if I hadn't messed up, it would have been a lot closer. That's on me. But yeah, the crystal sword thing definitely was a big deal. But doing demist was also a big deal. The fact that the legend sword adamant was actually, the legend sword was so free.
Yeah, just Dwarf Castle on that, but yeah, that was the only thing on the underground. So yeah, underground definitely optional. But yeah, I mean, you handled it about as well as you could have there. So I mean, as Luff does get the Earth Crystal, but that so Luff is going to be heading to Earth for his last objective here. Cecil is already in Earth, but bounced off the evil wall, so does have to go to Baron to get that other half of Forge, or has to go back to that evil wall.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Yep. This was a tough one this week. We knew it would be a tough one because we lost. Rybon lost last week, and that kind of sent everything askew from a team planning. I don't want to get into too much detail because then we're talking about other things regarding teams. But last week, Rybon taking a loss kind of sent us in a weird direction this week, and it was not it did not work out, clearly. And it wasn't a great necessarily one. But yeah, no, this seed, scouting sometimes pays out in terms of knowing what your opponent's going to do. And I just didn't have the power for Cecil when it was necessary. So yeah, getting that edge really changed the arc. If that's a Palom or Iridia, he doesn't get Crystal Sword, right? There's no way he's going to Eblan Blind there, right? And that creates an entirely different arc of the seed, right? Like, this is me theory crafting, right? But
if that's Palom or Iridia, I see D machines in people's future, but
possibly. Last week and this week, he eschewed D machines, right? Like, when D machines were entirely in vain, possible. But that's probably because Cecil was the carry, and so you don't need D machine levels on them. But that's very possible too, right? The thing about watching Starman play these seeds is that you don't actually know what's in his mind for his backups, right? So you don't actually know what the lines are on the backups because you don't see them. But you're right that mages would send you more towards that. An even more interesting aggressive overworld would be, right, once you know that you have darkness, skip the white mage, skip the black mage, right, until you're ready to go to giant. Since those options were there. But anyway, yeah, no, it's a small thing, and you wouldn't necessarily, but the edge sends you to Eblan, which gets an early crystal sword, which helps a lot with that moon. Right, I've won fights but the fights were slower than they should have been.
Yeah. All right, Vitasia, do you have anything else to add here?
No, just GG Mecha. It was a fantastic race, and the studying definitely helped. I mean, the problem is Starman is really good at his own race, so
yeah. I mean, that's how it was the biggest angle that I got to do was be no, demist, no, You know what solves that evil wall problem? Adamant armor. I was just like, I'm just gonna go down to Earth, get the pink tail, cash in everything I got from the moon, come back up and kill the darn thing, right? Like, rather than try something else, right? So like, I like that play, but if I made that play like 10 to 15 minutes sooner, maybe it's a different race.
Yep.
You know?
Real quick, we got Luff in the last here, going for final objective here. Cecil got that Baron key, but has opted to head up to Keyless Tower here. So Luff is likely going to be the first into the Z fight here. It does definitely have a little bit more levels. The interesting thing is both of these two did burn down Mist, and both opted to not take that Fusoya.
Ooh, it was Fusoya.
No one took it.
Interesting.
No one took it. Oh my
Well, that's
yeah.
right. All three of them had the chance, and I didn't.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. Even Starman declined the Fu. We're like, why do you not take him over Porum at this point? 700 more hit points at this point. Actual access
Because it takes another minute and a half to get them.
for a whole lot more Z security though.
For an extra minute and a half, when all you need to do is set Cecil on Frappe. Like, I beat that Z fight with all 5 characters berserked, right? Like, I threw away value. It was fine. Anyway, I should let you go. I've been in here a while, and Loop's wrapping up. So, thank you all. Thank you for talking with me.
Yep. And again, GG, and hope to see you again next week here.
Yep, we'll see. Hey, I'm playing. We'll see.
Yep.
Johnny.
Yep, so Cecil finds just the sand ruby and does reset out. Luff is opting to crack some eggs, not quite comfortable with his levels quite yet.
Yeah, I'm wondering here if this is definitely... actually, that's right. Luff did ditch that Forum here. Has the Palom online here. May want to go a little bit hybrid with this Cecil. I mean, it's Adamant Cecil. So, yeah, Cecil too is opting to head back to the Fey March here. Wants a rematch with Wyvern, it looks like. Is doing anything that isn't that Baron key that he needs at this moment.
This is one of those instances where I think if you take the time to gamble and you're doing those objectives, you gotta continue to follow those objectives, right? Like everything else that's been available when you don't see a dot done from your opponent, you got to keep following what is in the path in front of you, not what you've had available and you've skipped for a while. Just because the chance of that being the answer is slimmer and slimmer the further along you go.
Yeah, so Luff just did use his last Siren here. I would assume that Rosa has about 2,100 hit points. Probably feels a lot better. That Rosa was actually at about the levels that Starman and Mechalink had at their Roses there. And I do agree that, yes, Adamant Cecil, Crystal Sword Adamant Cecil does take care of Z. Yeah, having that Rosa along that is able to at least get you out of a bad spot in case of a bad high roll, or having a Fu along at that point is a bit. Now, unfortunately, again, Mass Charm. Okay, Edge does the party a favor by killing himself and not that Cecil. I don't think he could have got through the Adamant armor. I'm not sure about that, actually, but so Cecil is angry. Cecil is going through, and Tella is doing his best to help the Wyvern here, landing a fast before the I don't know how much that actually helps, but smart, confused Tella. Unfortunately, the wall comes out. Here's the slow, bouncing right back onto Porum. This is probably one of the low-key worst Wyverns in the game here, just because, again, with only 2 people shrugging that off. Yeah, now Wyvern helping out the party by telling the old man, I don't need your help here. I'm going to land a nuke here. And Cecil says, thanks for not hitting me. But just a white shirt there, unfortunately, which, hey, would have been really nice for that Porum, but yeah, coming up on an hour 56, absolutely not what you want to see here. Cecil is out of the Fey March. Loof is marching up to the Z fight here. Cecil either needs to deal with a wall or go through Baron here. to get back in. That's Cecil and Rose are definitely at a point where both of them are in better condition here. A high roll still does put this in a slightly bad situation here. Edge is going to balk us up. I'm kind of wondering, I saw somebody with a Masamune, and I'm guessing that was from underground. I didn't see too much of that, unfortunately. And, but that Porum on Cecil's side does no Cure 4, and that's right, they do have a Palom for Loof, and God, that 1527, that's really close to potential nuke, but I don't know if he has it at that hit point level.
So at this point, it does look like Palom's going to be doing his best to help out.
Cecil is going to check on Bedward, I guess. Yep. We have got news on from High here that we did, unfortunately, at this point, get a forfeit from Cecil here. Is going to be stopping in for an interview here, so we will be set up to receive him shortly. Meanwhile, while this is going on, we do have reflected. Okay, yeah, that's Ice 3. So, yeah, that Palom just short of nuke here. We're bouncing viruses, we're bouncing spells, and I'm guessing that Cecil is now berserked here and just swinging that sword. Yeah, that's. Now I'm wondering if Loof or Cecil did find one of those two crystal swords hanging out in the seed here. I'm not sure if either one did, actually. And there we are. There's Cecil 2 joining us here.
Well, that was a fun race.
Go ahead, Vitej. I've kind of hogged the mic on the interviews here.
No, it's perfectly fine. Yeah, that was a little bit rough. You bounced off that evil wall, which, was an objective at that point in time. So walk us through on your end, the end of the seed, kind of some of your decisions that you were making there.
Was that for me?
Yes, sir.
Basically, once I figured out different spots, I was like, okay, this can't be it, this can't be it. And I saw Ruby at Meza, and I was like, that's not going to be a fun fight. So then at the end, I was like, okay, this is not going to be fun, it's not going to be fun. I'll check the spark downstairs, and then top of tower. And once those were bad ones, I was going to go to Baron and clear that whole thing out. But by that point, I saw that it was after 2 hours and I think 5 or 10 minutes, I knew that I'd lost the game.
Yeah, to pull the curtain back, the Baron key does lead to the Adamant Rock. So had you completed it, it was kind of right on the tip there. And right now, what we can see, Luff is in Meteor phase but only Rosa is alive. Everyone else in the party is down.
Yeah, to just opt for a life 2 on Cecil here. I think Rosa might know it here. I'm not actually sure, but yeah, it's resurrecting Cecil here. But yeah, I don't know if you got the news there that unfortunately, yeah, the Baron was actually the play there, and it just how much value that moon had, because it was kind of a tale of two races between Starman, Mecha Link, and you and Luff there. both of you two opted to head down underground, which had half of an objective over the moon gating everything.
Yeah, once I had Cecil and he was partly up to the tower, that's when I said, okay, I'll give a shot at the moon.
Yep, speaking of, the Lust fight does end up here. The Cecil gets resurrected, they dodge a bunch of meteos, and Zeromus is down at 201.47. So that will end the races here. But again, yeah, I mean, it was really close. You two were actually, especially at the moon, you were in lockstep going from different ends, actually.
Yeah, the way I was on it, I would 20 minutes. I said, yes, we're gonna clear it like time.
We're still breaking up a little bit here, unfortunately.
Oh.
Yep.
Step with
Yep, give us just a moment here. We are trying to fix Cecil's mic issues here. 1 sec here so we can kind of finish out this interview if we could.
How's that, any better?
Much better, yes.
And the worst part is, I think I missed the memo about it being a 4-man race. So.
Yeah. Again, still that now, given that this does send your team to 4-3, you're not completely eliminated yet. There's a lot of moving parts which we're not going to get into right now. But yeah, there's still something to play for next week there. So again, Dice didn't roll your way this time here, or the rando didn't. But yeah, we'll look forward to seeing you all next week.
Thank you very much. You guys have a good evening.
You too. And I believe, yep, and there's the ping for Loof. Good game here. Interesting tale of two seeds going around. How you feeling about that one?
Whew. that was a very interesting seed. I really want to watch this again with all the forerunners, because I saw that Starman had one at 122. That was, wow, I'm not even close to being done. What is going on? So, yeah, I feel like I've hit actually my head on a couple of walls. But I'm always up for challenging seeds and stuff I'm not quite used to. I'll always love doing those last-minute adjustments. So I guess I deserve to be in the last-minute decisions, because that's kind of what I love to do. You know, having some very harsh fight like that infamous Valvedis, that seriously, I was not expecting it to have so much evasion at that spot. But it's always interesting to have those challenges.
Yeah, on our end when we were watching it, and I'm not going to spoil it too much, but really the difference was, 5 out of the 7 objectives were gated from going to the moon, and the other one was just like right there on Mount Ordeal. So it was just, if you go to the moon, you're in a better spot. Is what it came down to.
Yep. That was, from the start. I mean, you get Tela, you tell yourself, I just need to do our deals. Surprise! You actually have back row sisters, so it's always a very interesting fight. That one I knew was gonna be hard. I wasn't sure if that crossbow with the mute arrows would be enough to go through, and well, no, it was not at the levels that I had. So I had to figure out a solution. I knew I had to do something. I was not expecting though for the old moon for having all the good stuff. Usually, I'm pretty much team overworld and underworld most of the times. It's what's gonna it's what gonna reward you the most. And I was pretty much preparing for having some the machine, having that so early Telenal. So we can say that the route I had in my head right from the start actually went haywire. So a lot of improvisation on the spot. Sadly, I did not go to the moon early. I guess I should have at the same time, inside this 2020. But yeah, that was very fun. I really want to watch this again for sure. I mean,
yeah, you'll have a blast watching this again. The big thing here is that with this sweep, this 3-0 sweep that your team has made this week here, you are joining what is now a 4-way tie at 5-2 and a match record of 14-7 here for second place. Everything to play for next week.
Yep, we are gonna have quite a stressful match next week because it's pretty much the entire tournament that we're gonna play on week 8. So I'm very excited about that. I mean, I've been in this kind of situation quite often now, having to go through the last match. Do I get into the playoffs or the brackets or whatever? I'm always at the last cutout at the end. I'm really hoping that I will be able this time to win one for my team next week. So this is going to be very interesting, and in this kind of setup, you never know if the other teams are going to play incredibly well too. So it will be a very interesting week to watch for sure.
I mean, at the very least, full disclosure, me and Vitasia can totally cheer for you next week because we've already played you. We can't play you again, probably. I hope.
That is true.
Yes. So we're probably not going to see each other next week. So very good luck to you next week.
Thank you very much. I have a lot of luck too.
So yeah, that is that there. So yeah, again, a tale of two races, and yeah, I won't spoil too much, but definitely go ahead and watch that back. Definitely worth the watch there. But yeah, I'm gonna guess after 2 hours of that, you probably want to wind down a bit here as well. I'm guessing.
Indeed, I'm quite hungry. I haven't ate before the match, so I was not expecting a 2-hour seed. I still feel like I've played badly now, but we'll see. I will be able to watch that later. So again, thanks everyone on the Restream team. Thanks for having me, Night Dew, Vitasia. I know I have a teammate right there tracking. So Exalt, thanks for the support. And as always, Shadow Kitty, you're incredible for this community. So thanks for all the work you do. So thanks again everyone, and we'll see each other's probably next week. Ciao.
Yeah, thank you once again to all of our runners on the stream, of course. Starman, Mechalink, Cecil2, and Luff. One last shout out to everyone behind the scenes putting on the show, Scala Kitty for the restream and rolling the seed, our trackers, Zaldi and Xenocat, and of course, Night Dew, my co-commentator and teammate. Always a pleasure when we get to step in the booth together. Doesn't happen often, but it's always a blast.
Yep, very much so. I loved this. Yeah, that was absolutely fun there. So, two things here before we're out. Again, we have one more match here at 11 p.m. And yes, this one actually means just as much as we do have Martin Broadcloak from Team No Springs and Zilch from the Rusty Spoons here in a match that's also tied 1-1 and also does have playoff implications as well. So, we have one more super hype race here for you before week 8 starts. So, drink some coffee, get some rest. You don't want to miss this one here.
Absolutely not. Other than that, we're going to be sending everyone off to Edge Talvaring, who's running just a fun, lighthearted free enterprise seed. So let's show Edge Talvarin a little bit of love. Remember, do not spoil the race if you can possibly avoid it. Let folks absolutely tell them to watch this one back, though. It was a fun one. From those of us here at the Free Enterprise community, have a wonderful night, and we'll see you at the next race.